The topic for today's class is review petition and curative petition. These topics have become important for examination as they were in news in case of Nirbhaya case convicts who tried to use these provisions and certain other provisions in law in order to delay the execution of their death sentence. Regarding these two concepts in this class, we will look at the following aspects. We will first have a look at section 366 clause 1 of CRPC, that is the Criminal Procedure Code. Then we will look at the review petition, followed by curative petition, and then we will have a look at certain recent examples about the use of these petitions. Coming to the section 366 clause 1 of CRPC. This section says that whenever any lower court in the country awards a person death penalty or death sentence, then that death sentence cannot be executed. That means the person cannot be hanged unless the concerned high court has confirmed the death sentence. तो देश के किसी भी कोर्ट ने अगर किसी भी केस में किसी इंसान को फांसी की सज़ा सुनाई है तो उस इंसान को फांसी तब तक नहीं लगाई जाएगी जब तक वहाँ के हाई कोर्ट ने उस फांसी की सज़ा को कंफर्म ना कर दिया हो. दिस इज व्हाट इज गिवन इन सेक्शन 366 clause 1 of CRPC. Now, this is obvious that a person who is given death sentence by a lower court and confirmed by the high court will definitely go in appeal to the Supreme Court. Now, once Supreme Court also upholds the person's death sentence, and this is, by the way, exactly happened in case of Nirbhaya case also. So when Supreme Court also confirmed the death sentence of Nirbhaya case convicts, then let us see what remedies or what options these convicts have in their hands. The first remedy that they have is what is called as review petition. The provision of review petition is given in Article 137 of the Constitution of India. So remember that review petition is filed under Article 137 of the Constitution. This article has given a power to Supreme Court that Supreme Court can review or can change or alter its own judgment in a particular case. That means if I go to Supreme Court and I'm able to convince Supreme Court that in particular judgment of Supreme Court has by chance missed any significant aspect of law, or there is violation of principles of natural justice, then Supreme Court has the power in this article to change its own decision. And that is why Article 137 is considered as an exception to principle of stare decisis. Stare decisis. It is a legal principle, and we can say that this principle is the basis of entire legal system. This concept says that in a similar case, when a judicial system has awarded a particular punishment, then in a fresh case, which is similar case, the judiciary cannot depart from its earlier conclusion. तो किसी केस में अगर सुप्रीम कोर्ट या कोई भी कोर्ट एक फैसला दे चुका है और वैसा ही एक और केस उसके सामने आता है, तो इन दोनों केसेस में उसका जो कंक्लूजन है, उसका जो न्याय होगा, जो जजमेंट होगा, वो चेंज नहीं हो सकता अनलेस देयर आर स्ट्रॉन्ग रीजंस विच आर फेल्ट बाय जुडिशरी कि या तो उसमें लॉ का एप्लीकेशन गलत हुआ है, so there can be wrong application of law, or there can be wrong interpretation of law, or certain new facts of the case have emerged, or principles of natural justice have been violated. Only then the Supreme Court or any court departs from or it violates the principle of stare decisis. And therefore, review petition filed under Article 137 is considered an exception to the principle of stare decisis. That is the reason that review petitions are usually not successful. In very few cases, Supreme Court admits and then changes its own decision. Now, once review petition is also rejected of a petitioner, then the petitioner or the interested party can file a second petition, which is now called as curative petition, and this is given in the rules of Supreme Court. According to these rules, a curative petition has to be filed within 30 days. Within 30 days of rejection of the review petition. However, regarding curative petition, there are few important aspects which you have to understand. The first aspect is that a curative petition is not heard orally by the Supreme Court directly. That means the bench which gave the original verdict, first the judges on that bench will hear the petition in chamber. वो अपने chamber में petition को via lawyer सुनते हैं या उसको पहले वो पढ़ते हैं. Only if the majority of judges, agree that yes, there is a chance of change of decision in this petition and the petition has some substance. अगर उन्हें लगता है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर 5 जज की बेंच ने किसी केस में जजमेंट दिया था और उनके सामने एक क्यूरेटिव पिटिशन फाइल होती है, तो अगर 5 में से एटलीस्ट 3 जज ये मानते हैं कि यस, इस केस में फैसले को बदलने की गुंजाइश है, देयर इज अ स्कोप ऑफ चेंज ऑफ जजमेंट, only then the curative petition will be accepted and then it will be heard by the bench of Supreme Court. So these principles of curative petition are given in the rules of Supreme Court. One more thing to be noted about review and curative petition is that usually these petitions are not successful because of the principle of stare decisis, and that is why the law says that these petitions cannot be used to alter the judgment easily. So आसानी से सुप्रीम कोर्ट अपने जजमेंट्स को अंडर दीज petitions चेंज नहीं करता है. Let us now look at certain recent examples of use of the review and curative petition. We can here discuss 2 examples. First example we can discuss about or rather in the year 2018, and this case which I am going to discuss pertains to Section 498A, Section 498A of Indian Penal Code IPC. Now, in this section of 498A, it deals with the punishments or the crime of dowry harassment or harassment of a woman by her husband and husband's relatives. Now, this section was made by this section was inserted by the Parliament in the IPC for the benefit, for the advantage and for the protection of the women of our country. However, over the years, this section has turned out to be one of the most misused sections or misused provisions of the law in our country, as a result of which a number of false complaints are filed by women, because of which innocent husbands and husbands' relatives have been arrested by the police. That is why Supreme Court was compelled in 2018, Supreme Court को मजबूरन ये order pass करना पड़ा that from now onwards, whenever a complaint is filed by a woman, by a married woman under this section, then the accused persons cannot be arrested. They cannot be arrested immediately. Now, after this verdict, it was opined by experts, by women experts, that this judgment has led to significant dilution of Section 498A. तो जो एक बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग सेक्शन था लॉ का, उसको इस जजमेंट ने डाइल्यूट कर दिया है, कमजोर बना दिया है, ऐसा एलिगेशन लगा ऑन दिस जजमेंट. एज अ रिजल्ट ऑफ विच a review petition was filed in Supreme Court. And in this review petition, Supreme Court agreed to overrule its judgment and hold that yes, from now onwards, the immediate arrests can take place. And the argument given by Supreme Court was that the power to change the law lies only with the Parliament. So in this case, the review petition was successful. Let us look at second example. Second example is very recent, of the year 2019 and 2020. And I am referring to the case of, very famous case of the entry of women in Sabarimala temple of the state of Kerala. Now in this case, we all know Supreme Court held the judgment, and the judgment was given by a bench of 5 judges with the majority of 4:1. Supreme Court held that the practice of prohibition of entry of women in this temple is unconstitutional, and therefore this practice has to be stopped immediately. The practice was that the women of the age group 10 to 50 years, that is women of these age group, between these two age groups or in this age group, were not allowed entry into the temple. This practice was declared as unconstitutional. Against this order of Supreme Court, a review petition was filed in Supreme Court, which was not accepted by Supreme Court. However, Supreme Court agreed that we can refer certain questions of law, we can refer certain questions of law to be examined by a larger bench. For example, what is the relationship between fundamental rights and faith? राइट्स में और फेथ में, किसी के रिलीजियस फेथ में क्या रिलेशनशिप है, या फिर व्हाट आर द एसेंशियल प्रैक्टिसेस इन अ पर्टिकुलर रिलीजन. सो कैन वी से दैट द प्रोहिबिशन ऑफ women on entering into the temple is a part of essential practice of the people who believe in Sabarimala temple and Lord Ayyappa, the deity of this temple. So certain these questions of law were referred by Supreme Court in this review petition. However, Supreme Court refused to change or stay its order given earlier in the Sabarimala case. So this was an example of unsuccessful review petition. To conclude, we can say that whenever Supreme Court gives its verdict in a particular case, there are two possibilities. First, if the case is a civil case, and second, if the case is a criminal case. If it is civil case and Supreme Court has given the verdict, then the concerned parties can file a review petition. Even if that is not successful, then the concerned parties can file last petition, which is called as the curative petition. Curative petition. In criminal cases, the route will be, और रास्ता जो बनेगा वो होगा, the first the criminals will file a review petition. If it is not successful and criminals are not given any relief, उन्हें कोई relief नहीं मिलता है, then they may file a curative petition, and then as a method of last resort, they may file something called as mercy petition. I beg your pardon. They can file mercy petition under Article 72 to the Constitution of India. So this is what will be the route taken by a particular case depending on whether the case is a civil case or it is a criminal case. I hope this video will help you to solve any question in the upcoming examinations on the topic of review petition and curative petition.